Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique, conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
Welcome to the Freedom Friday show. Today's date is October 16th, 2020. I've been gone for a while, but I'm retooled. New and improved Freedom Friday because I can't take it no more and I have to make fun of these people because I'll stress out if I don't. Okay? So you are my audience and you will listen to what I have to say on the podcast. Okay? iTunes, all kinds of podcasters out there. You can listen to the podcast or on YouTube under the KAPOW videos on Fifth Hook Media channel. Fifth Hook Media, you can listen to us on the YouTubes. All right? And then you can see what I'm posting and talking about because I will have these headlines up there and things of that sort. But if you're just listening, you're getting just a listening experience and not the visual experience along with the listening experience. I'm just saying. All right? So here we go. First headline that I saw today, October 16th, was this one. Audience member nodding along with Trump during NBC town hall goes viral. Okay. So this is news, and it's from Fox News. It's not podunk, Oklahoma news. This is audience member nodding along like this when Trump is saying stuff at the town hall meeting. This thing goes viral. So that's pretty sad because that's all we can talk about today. And so what I wanted to do is remind you of this. Now, we're going to go to real news. If this really happened today, now this would be news to go viral. So I want you to go with me to the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 7 through 12. It's Eutychus revived at Troas. Now, this is news. On the first day of the week, we assembled to break bread. Paul, the Apostle Paul, spoke to them, and since he was about to depart the next day, he extended his message until midnight. There were many lamps in the room upstairs where we were assembled, And a young man named Eutychus was sitting on a windowsill, and he sank into a deep sleep as Paul kept on speaking. Now, you can ask Miss KAPOW about that because that's what she does when I talk to her too much. She just falls asleep. Oftentimes, she just falls off the couch.
Yes.
Did you hear that? That's Miss KAPOW. She just woke up. And then it says, when he was overcome by sleep, he fell down from the third story and was picked up dead. Wow. But Paul went down, fell on him, embraced him, and said, don't be alarmed, for his life is in him. So after going upstairs, breaking the bread and eating, Paul conversed a considerable time until dawn, and then he left. They brought the boy home alive and were greatly comforted. So my point is, the breaking news about Donald Trump at the town hall meeting and this woman not in agreement is not really a big deal. But in today's mentally deranged society that we have, it is very sad. Oh, and it gets worse. Hey, let's look at this one. This headline is from Mother Jones, and it says, wait a minute, I have to get my Kleenex. You ready? Get your Kleenex out. Get your Kleenex out. Yeah, I got me a little. This is sad. It says, for some protesters, less lethal weapons left permanent scars. Look at the picture of these guys. They got like eye patches on and bruises on their face. Now, let me tell you something. They're out there protesting. They're tearing the place apart. They're killing cops. They're lighting cars on fire. They're lighting businesses on fire. They're throwing Molotov cocktails everywhere. They're destroying communities. They're total arses, these people. They're totally anarchist arses. These are not peaceful protesters. These are arses. And now they get shot by the police with less lethal weapons, not non-lethal, less lethal. And now they're crying about it because you got permanent scars. Well, yeah, if you get hit in the head or the eye or the neck with one of these projectiles, a bean bag or a rubber bullet, it could do some real damage. That's why they call it less lethal. It's not non-lethal. It's just that you're less likely to die if you get hit with this than you are with a real lead bullet. So, unfortunately for these crybabies, and Mother Jones doing an article for them, they're complaining because they got hit by the popo. Now, if they would have just not been a bunch of arses, that probably wouldn't have happened. So, no, I don't feel sorry for them at all. And, hey, you get what you get. Hey, here's another headline that just was amazing. I actually read this story, and I wouldn't recommend reading it because it's long. It's drawn out, and it is extremely stupid, extremely ignorant. The title of it, this is from The Guardian. As you can see here, those who are watching on video, there's a picture of fried chicken, which looks delicious, by the way. It's Colonel Sanders' fried chicken. And it says, she loved fried chicken, but not the racism that came with it. You hear that, Miss KAPOW?
What?
She loved fried chicken, but not the racism that came with it. What the? You know what I mean? Now, let me tell you something. Let me get something really straight right here. If you bring me a bucket of fried chicken, I'm not going to be offended. You could bring me some enchiladas and a taco. Matter of fact, Miss KAPOW brought me for lunch a delicious taco from Roberto's. And they got a logo of a little coyote with a Mexican hat on. How offensive is that? Delicious tacos with beans and rice and taquitos with guacamole. Come on, I'm getting hungry again. If you bring me, what do white people eat? What do you white people eat? Cornbread? If you bring me some cornbread and pecan pie, I'm going to eat it. You know what else I like is Thai food. I love pad Thai chicken. Oh, and I love Indonesian food, too. I love satay and gado-gado. Don't get me going. Yeah, so anyway, in today's narrative of stupidity that we live in, there's an article by The Guardian that says she loved fried chicken, but not the racism that came with it. No, like I said, I read this article. It was so... It was so ridiculous. A little bit of the story is that growing up in the UK, they used to go to the Colonel Sanders and enjoy fried chicken. And as she grew up, I think she had her own restaurant and stuff. And then she started realizing that here in the South, in America, not in the UK, but in America, there was some racist overtones associated with fried chicken. So she decided to make her own chicken, healthy chicken, free-range chicken, using some Japanese recipe. And then she realized that she was misappropriating the Japanese culture. It's just a total nut. And then the people who write this stuff are total nuts. So as you can see, the agenda today is to keep the racism up, to keep the fear mass up, to keep to keep this stupid thing up. Hey, how are you? You know, to keep that nonsense up, to keep the distance up, to keep the hate up. It's so Luciferian. I mean, We talk about socialism, we talk about Marxism, but it can be traced all the way back to the God in the air, Lucifer. All right, next, Brother KAPOW. Next, Brother KAPOW is, here's the next headline. Scientists trapped on ice or in ice for the past year. They were trapped. Scientists are trapped in the ice for the past year. They returned with a dire warning, folks. Marcus Rex, he's an atmospheric scientist at Alfred Wegener Institute in Bremerhaven. He warned that the trip revealed... Get my tissue. You guys got your tissue?
I got mine.
Miss KAPOW got your tissue out. Light a candle. This is sad. He warned that the trip revealed, I can't even say, a dying Arctic Ocean. It's dying. And you know why? Because you're riding around in your Ford F-150 burning fossil fuels. It's your fault. Now, California, I just read Cuckoofornia, the kookiest place on the planet. I'm so glad I don't live there no more. I fled that hellhole 5 years ago, and I doubled my income. Seriously. I mean, unbelievable. That hellhole there, that crazy kook Gavin Newsom, that yoga pant wearing fool governor they have, had just signed a declaration, whatever that means. He signed some executive order that says that all of California, 100% of California, all of California, will be driving, only the cars sold by 2035 will be electric, hybrid, or whatever. There'll be no fossil fuel, gas guzzling cars on the road in California ever again. By 2035, all new cars will be electric. That's when you wear yoga pants that are so tight, they constrict the blood vessels in your groin, and it goes up in your head, and you turn into a Gavin Newsom idiot. Because the fossil fuels, your truck, your minivan, your Cadillac, all your Toyota Camry, you're causing the ice in the Arctic Ocean to die. Did you get it? Here's what it says. During the ambitious journey, scientists captured a rare first-hand glimpse of, you guessed it, the effects of human-driven climate change on the Arctic. Human-driven. So what you're doing here in Nevada and what you're doing there in California, what you're doing there in Nebraska, in Idaho, by the way. You're driving your tractor around, your Ford, what is it, N9 Ford? You're driving I had a Kubota that was diesel. And we are killing the Arctic. The humans are driving the climate change. And there are people that are so dense in this world. They believe this nonsense. They believe this crap. They absolutely believe it. And they're like this. I'm free. And I can't go out because I might get COVID and I'm sick and masks are good for you. Masks are good for you. I breathe carbon monoxide all day long, and it helps me think about global change. So the article says the human-driven climate change on the Arctic is warming at least twice as fast as the rest of the world. Marcus Rex, he's a scientist. He's gotta know. He's like Fauci, that little imp Fauci. He's gotta know. Bunch of socialist Marxists. You know what they are too? They're Jesuits. Bunch of Jesuits, man. An atmospheric scientist at Alfred Wegener Institute in Bruckhaven warned that the trip revealed a dying Arctic Ocean in a press conference. Okay. Very sad. Okay, here we go. Next segment. You're going to love this. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't watch the town hall stuff last night. I didn't watch Trump, and I didn't watch who's the little meat puppet guy that's dead that they have the hand in and they're going and they don't even talk right. Joe starts with a B, but Joe Budden. I don't know. I didn't watch this stuff. I don't have the time to waste, to be honest with you. But I love the reaction of this, and this is celebrities react to Trump and the meat puppet guys' dual town halls. Celebrities react now because you got to remember, celebrities, they're kind of like the scientist out in the Arctic, and they're kind of like the California governor in his yoga pants too tight. They're like these people. They're just totally brain dead. Where are you going, Miss KAPOW? I'm in the middle of talking, doing a show.
I was just going to get...
Would you come and say hello to people instead of being so rude?
Hello.
Oh, there's a camera right there.
Here.
This is the
Monitor
camera.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I wasn't here.
Don't worry about it.
Your stuff on the other side.
Go work.
He's put me to work on other stuff, so I'm not allowed to be on this side.
She can't do the news. She cries. Every time she sees somebody with a mask, she feels sorry for him.
But I can hear him, and so I sympathize with all of you.
Okay, celebrities react to Trump and the meat puppets dual town hall. So let's look at some of these fools. Everybody know who Oswald Patton is? He's a little guy. He's not funny, and I'm not being mean or nothing. I mean, the guy's really is not a funny guy. He's a really kind of a dark, strange little impy guy. He might be related to Fauci. Patton Oswald was he was on The King of Queens. One of the side characters there. And he was always, kind of, I don't know, just creepy. But anyway, here's what he does. He's watching the meat puppet guy, Joe Hidden, and he says, there's an adult at ABC right now who's mapping out how he'd get the country back on track. If you want to tune in, hashtag Joe Hidden Town Hall, ABC sucks. Can you believe it? There's an adult right now, and he's mapping out how he's going to get the country back. And the thing is, Trump is absolutely right. And all these people are absolutely right. This meat puppet has been around for 48 years, almost half a century. And now he's going to fix stuff? Politicians, unbelievable. Here's the next one, Joy. Well, Joe.
I was even thinking that's not right.
Joe Bayer. It's like Joe Biden and Joy Behar are the same person. One's transgender man and one's a transgendered woman. I figured it out.
You're a genius.
I'm a genius. It's the same person. Yeah. Well, this I shouldn't know this, but I know she's one of the hosts on that. The
View, I think.
The View, yes. She's one of the women. Where's my camera? She's one of the women. Dude looked like a lady. Yeah. Here's what this thing tweeted out. Now, this thing apparently is watching Trump. She's not even watching her meat puppet guy. So she says, they have no plan for health care. Stop lying. But she probably makes several million a year in her little show, and she's worried about health care. Bette Midler. How many of you grew up having dozens of Bette Midler records? Because she's such a good singer. Miss KAPOW, what is Bette Midler? Is she an actress or a singer? What does she actually do?
She's an actress that can sing.
She's an actress that can sing. What famous movies was Bette Midler in?
I don't remember offhand.
Crickets. She's kind of just known for being known, isn't she?
Well, I think she's a great actress.
You do think she's a great actress?
Oh, I do.
Really?
I do.
All right. Only thing I just remember her on Seinfeld singing "Rochelle, Rochelle" with Kramer.
She played in that movie Beaches.
Okay, well, I was probably watching The Terminator or something at that time.
No, it was a good story about two girlfriends.
Okay.
And one had cancer. I think it was her girlfriend. And so they were at the beach, and they were kind of like spending the last days. It was really good. It was like one of those crime movies.
Oh, Bette Midler. Okay, well, Bette Midler, according to Ms. KAPOW, is a fabulous actress.
I love what she sings.
So probably what I'm going to read to you makes sense because then she's right on. So Bette Midler wrote, "Oh my God, OMG, hashtag Joe Hidden speaks like a human being, and he's actually answering the questions. It's so exciting how we have missed this for 4 years." So there's one legitimate person that, Bette Midler. How about Deborah Messing? You ever heard of Deborah Messing?
Yes, she played in that
Sitcom.
Where she was living with the homosexual.
She was living with a homosexual. Oh, Will and Grace.
Yes.
I thought her name was Grace.
No.
Okay. Well, she says, "What a relief. A calm, focused, richly informational town hall. Thank you so much at Joe Hidden and Stefanopoulou." Yeah. And then John Cooper wrote, whoever that is, "What a contrast. Joe Hidden is calmly and methodically knocking it out of the ballpark, while at real Donald Trump is raving like a lunatic." So let me tell you why Joe Hidden was talking so calm and actually answering the questions. Let me tell you why. This is Fox News. This is the headline. There's a picture of Joe Hidden with his little mask on, his little fear mask, his little tyranny. I've succumbed to tyranny mask. And he says, the headline says, "Biden's ABC town hall questioners include former Obama speechwriter wife. Wife of former Pennsylvania Dem candidate." So the questions that were asked him were written by his former boss's speechwriter. And I think that's why Bette Midler was so enamored with his ability to speak and not being interrupted by the bad orange man. Orange man bad. All right? Okay, let's change topics, Ms. KAPOW.
Okay.
At least 118 police officers leave Seattle Police Department in 2020.
Wow.
And the year ain't over. Good for them. I did read this article. The chief of police was one of them who left. And, I don't have to tell you why. A bunch of idiots over there. Seattle's run by a bunch of morons. The leadership there, I mean, I use that lightly, just a bunch of idiots. They're brain dead fools. And with all the stuff's going on, defunding the police, taking away their resources, having all these stupid rioters and people getting hit in the heads with less lethal and crying about it, these officers are exiting like mad. Now, when I had a job at the police department in my latter years where I was the lieutenant in charge of personnel and training, and one of the departments under me was hiring. And I tell you what, we loved laterals. At that time, if we would have had something like this, we would have been the Riverside Police Department in California. We would have been sucking up these highly trained police officers and bringing them into our state, bringing them up to California specs, basically, and we would hire these people. We hired a lot of officers that fled their police departments back in the day over, stupid stuff. So these police officers are already trained, experienced. It's like the NFL draft, man. And so they're going to other police departments laterally. If you're of age and you can retire, they retired. And some just quit. Some just quit and, went back to doing something else. Who knows? I don't know how in the world you could work in a city with such idiots. I really don't know that kind of job. I don't know how they do it. Miss KAPOW, how long would I last on the street there?
Less than a second.
She says I'd last less than a second because, I just in my day we just wouldn't put up with that nonsense. It just wouldn't be. Okay, so I'm going to end with this. I just found this funny. As you know, Eddie Van Halen had passed away, and I remember, when that first album came out, the Van Halen's first album, it was mind-boggling. I remember I had a bass player friend of mine in high school come over, bring that over and play this. And it was like, what is that? When I heard Eruption, it was like, you got to be kidding me. And, of course, the band, they got a little cheesy in the 80s and stuff, but I loved them with Sammy Hagar when they were Van Hagar. And I loved that stuff. He was a very, very out there guitarist. No doubt about it. Whether you liked that type of music or not or whatever, his skill level and his innovative approach to playing the guitar was unbelievable. On the other hand, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, that came out of the 60s pothead, whatever they're, Puff the Magic Dragon music. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Have you heard Neil Young? Southern Man,
I don't
right?
like it.
Yeah, David Crosby, really? So David Crosby he's just old. Anyway, I'm not saying that Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young didn't produce decent music for what they were doing. I don't know what it was, folk rock, I don't know. But they were nowhere near innovators or talented like Eddie Van Halen was. They're not even the same thing. So the day Eddie dies or the next day he dies, this David Crosby guy puts out this message. He tweets this message and he basically says, everybody's upset about Eddie's death, and I just think he was meh, meh. So he disrespects him. Yeah, he was meh. Really, David Crosby. Man, and you're this. We're the man. That's unbelievable. So I'm going to end with a couple of clips, and I'm going to show you David Crosby with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, with Neil Young singing some weird song, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of Eddie doing a little bit of Eruption, not too much because. I don't want, get in trouble using their but just a tad bit, and that'll be it. So I think that's it, Miss KAPOW.
Alrighty.
And I'm gonna say,
Ciao, baby.
Good night. Ciao, baby.